In the MonsterVerse, Godzilla and Kong can both be considered good guys, or at the very least neutral. So why would they go out of their ways to fight one another, especially with the high chance of death that would be involved in the battle? Make believe or not, this is a question that has gone on with these two monsters for decades. Everyone wants to see them fight, but there never really seems to be a good reason for them both to actually face off, outside of it just being badass. But I have a theory for you today that goes in detail on an idea that gives an explanation as to why the big G-Man and Kong will fight. And here's your quick hint.
Theatricality and deception.
Make sure to discuss in the comments and like this video to get the video out to more monster fans so we can all get in on this theory. Now back to the video, let's get to it. Within the MonsterVerse, Monarch and humanity in general have been studying kaiju both living and dead. Now I'm not much of a betting man, but I would imagine that it would have been discovered that now that Ghidorah is gone, that Kong and Godzilla are now number 1 and 2 when it comes to the most powerful monsters on the planet. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, made it clear that there are humans in this lore that want to end the world. But to end the world, they would need to find a way to get both Kong and Godzilla out of the picture, as they are Earth's finest guardians. But monsters are hard to kill. As of this point in the MonsterVerse, humanity has killed a whopping 1 monster as far as I'm aware, that being the Shinomura in the Godzilla Awakening graphic novel. So if these people who want to see the world end actually want a chance to rid Godzilla and Kong, this is the only way to do it. Let them fight. I know a bunch of us MonsterVerse fans loved Godzilla 2014 and even Skull Island due to its more realistic take on kaiju, but for better or worse, mankind's technology in this lore is becoming very futuristic. And this is where the theory really comes into play. So I'm going to go into some mild spoilers of sorts here, so go watch one of our monster videos now if you want to go into Godzilla vs. Kong with a fresh mind. If you have followed the MonsterVerse, then you likely have seen the end scene credits for King of the Monsters, and the one part specifically that states Monarch was working on a giant mechanized titan on Skull Island. And on top of that, we have the action figure leaks that showed what looked like Mechagodzilla, showing that at the very least, mankind is trying to build a robot titan. No matter your thoughts on this idea, which we will talk about more as time goes on, let's say that humanity has indeed developed a mechanized giant. There's still no chance that it could actually hold its own with our real god like the G-Man or Kong. But maybe it doesn't need to actually fight and kill the 2 Titan Kings. Perhaps all it needs to do is put in motion a devious plan full of trickery and deceit. In the history of the Godzilla movies, there have been a couple instances where either mankind or some form of advanced alien species was able to create Mechagodzilla and then disguise the machine as the true Godzilla. This usually caused a bunch of confusion and had a lot of blame put on the G-Man for being kind of a dick when he was just out there doing his own thing. Let's get back to the MonsterVerse now. After King of the Monsters introduced Titan-speaking technology, underwater fortresses, and a Star Wars-like plane thing, I think it's in the realm of possibilities to say that they could develop hologram-like technology that would hide the metal skeleton of Mechagodzilla and disguise it as Godzilla. So what does this have to do with Godzilla and Kong fighting? Well, hear me out. If this machine was already built on Skull Island and then disguised as Godzilla, imagine the true mayhem it could release on the island. Killing wildlife, setting the forests ablaze, ripping the island to shreds. This would infuriate Kong likely to a level never before seen. Kong would rage out against what would look like Godzilla, but it's actually Mechagodzilla. For this plan to work, Kong would actually have to see this fake Godzilla cause the destruction. And even if Kong was able to uncloak Mechagodzilla and then defeat the metal giant, he would still have this deep hatred for anything that looks like Godzilla. Our normal Godzilla could end up doing nothing, but yet still have Kong come at him with vengeance and fury. If a disguised Mechagodzilla destroyed Skull Island, Kong would do everything in his power to kill the true Godzilla in an attempt to avenge the loss of everything he cared for and knew. And he probably wouldn't be able to truly distinguish the real Godzilla and the Mechagodzilla fake guy either. Luckily for Godzilla, he loves a good challenge and would not go down without a fight. He would openly accept Kong's challenge, likely craving it, and this fight would get dirty. Kong would fight for his clan, his home, and his anger. Godzilla would fight to please his addiction to battling and putting his challengers in the ground. Neither will give up until they are either both dead or one becomes victorious, and this is why it fits this human faction's hellbent on world destruction plan. Kong and Godzilla will fight to the death, and with them killing each other or severely weakening themselves, it would be possible to accomplish this deceptive mission. All because Kong was tricked into hating Godzilla with a burning passion. So that ends my theory as to why Godzilla and Kong will clash in the MonsterVerse lore. What do you think about it? Residents, subscribe and hit the bell for more videos like this. Thank you all for taking the time to hear this theory today, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, this has been Jacob, and peace out everyone.